Many people never learnt the basics of sex. This is why I've written this book. I'm here to offer it as a handy guide, a great foundation for sex ed. It's everything I didn't learn in school. It's everything I wish I had known. My job as a therapist is to create a safe space where we can talk about the diversity of sexual experiences. I hope this book also provides a safe space for those who are currently questioning anything to do with their sex lives. My goal is to introduce a more productive and less taboo conversation around the topic, ultimately strengthening your knowledge and empowering you to have control over your fun, healthy, and pleasurable sex life. A few notes before you start your journey. Most of the research referenced in this book has been conducted on cis, heterosexual people. The results unfortunately don't necessarily represent the whole spectrum of experience of sexuality, and I would have loved to have been more inclusive. Apologies to anyone who feels like they were left out. I'm hoping the research becomes more inclusive in the future. I was lucky enough to have this book fact-checked and reviewed by 3 sexologists and a doctor, and also refined with advice from sensitivity readers. In this book, I have endeavoured to use the most inclusive and accurate language to describe people and concepts at this time in 2021. As we all know, language can be frustratingly imperfect, and so sometimes I've needed to resort to terms such as male or female, especially when talking about assigned sex and gender constructs. If there's any language in this book that does not resonate with you or your experience, please understand that I'm not trying to invalidate you or confuse you. That is the very last thing I'd want to do. Please adopt whatever language feels comfortable for you. I wish you the very best as you set out to learn more about sex and your body. Chapter 1. Body Parts. Welcome to the first chapter of your new sex ed. It's an important chapter, as it's going to re-educate you about all your bits. The outside bits and the inside bits. What they do, and if they bring pleasure. I remember learning about this briefly in biology class, but I also remember everyone talking about penis and vagina. Little did I know that I was naming my bits all wrong. This chapter is going to focus on the external and internal anatomy of the sexes. Children are naturally curious about their genitals and have the opportunity to explore them and touch them. As they grow, however, they are often told not to touch those bits, that exploration is private or inappropriate. This leads to the development of secrecy and shame around their body. None of us are born with shame. It is something that is learned over time. If I were to ask most people the name for assigned female genitals, they would say vagina. Unfortunately, these people are incorrect. I don't know how we got to the place where we started naming things wrong, but the vagina is just one part of the vulva, and definitely not the whole thing. It just goes to show that most people don't know much about a vulva owner's genitalia or its anatomical structure. Maybe it's because those with a penis have genitals that are external and easily seen when naked. For those who have vulvas, these genitals are more hidden and often not encouraged to be explored. This has to change, and we deserve to have basic body knowledge. So, I'm asking you to forget everything you know about your bits and listen on. Now, this is something important to remember. Sex and gender are different to body parts, and we will learn more about this coming up. Sex is a label that you are assigned at birth, and it relates to many different things, such as your genitals, chromosomes, and hormones. Confused? Well, just wait, because we speak about this in depth later in the book. Gender is a different concept to body parts too, and it relates to your sense of who you are as a guy, girl, or a different gender. Gender is diverse and is different to physical characteristics, hormones, and chromosomes. Vulva Owner's Anatomy Tour. One of the most empowering things you can do is understand your body